App Development Club. Let's get into the.
Yeah, App Development Club was the first club at OSU that I attended that focused on computer science. It was a great time. I got to meet a bunch of new people, including you. Got to learn more about the world of computer science, and that's what helped me get or want to become an officer in one of the CS clubs, such as Hackathon Club.
So, was Hackathon Club your first leadership position?
Yes, Hackathon Club was my first leadership position. In fall term, I applied to be the webmaster of Hackathon Club, and I thankfully got accepted. As webmaster of Hackathon Club, I revamped the club website. So the website you see today, Oregon State Hackathon.com, I had a part of revamping the website. And now I got promoted to the vice president of Hackathon Club.
Yes,
So I get
sir.
to help manage and run the hackathons and even be a judge in one.
So, why did you decide to go for leadership positions in the first place? Because I can imagine as a first year student, it's kind of daunting, you know, being the leader or like at this point now the vice president of a club. But what got you into it?
Yeah, I think leadership as a first year is really something interesting because normally leadership in a club is like you'd be a junior or a senior, but coming into OSU as a freshman, I really wanted to get experience and get experience fast. And becoming the officer of a CS club was one way that allowed me to do so. I think getting work experience is a bit difficult for a freshman CS major. So, getting my foot in the door through a CS club first and networking and meeting people within the club and learning how to really do things and manage them was really important for me.
So that's like a really good thing that you can put on your resume as well, right? Like when it comes to actually landing internships in your freshman year, it's nearly impossible. I mean, except for one dude, Tom, the main man, landed a Google internship his freshman year. But yeah, like other than that, clubs are the way to go. Would you say that if someone's coming to OSU or just any college first year, like clubs are kind of the move?
Yes, absolutely. If you are an underclassman, freshman coming to a college or university, one of the best places to meet people and learn quickly is to join clubs. You get to meet interesting people, you get to learn from upperclassmen that come and frequent these clubs as well, and it's a really good place to, yeah, have fun.
So, you were the webmaster, you revamped the website. That was kind of the main thing you did fall term. But coming into winter term, you got promoted, of course. What's it been like as VP for the last two terms?
Being the vice president of Hackathon Club was really interesting. It I took on more of a leadership role as vice president compared to webmaster. So having to manage people and manage the hackathons was a new and exciting experience. There were challenges that I did not experience before, and I got to overcome them and learn about myself and how to be a better leader and officer within a club, which I think is really important and which is why a lot of people put their club leadership experience on a resume. Yeah.
So you also mentioned, I think you mentioned this before, both of these topics, but I think we'll tackle the first one, undergrad research. So did you do research through the URSA program or did you just cold email professors?
Yes. So the URSA program, for viewers who might not know, at Oregon State, we have the URSA program, which stands for Undergraduate Research something. Yeah, so URSA is really good for letting undergraduates get research as they might as at most colleges underclassmen might not be able to get research experience so easily. But thankfully at OSU, we have a built in program called URSA that allows freshmen and sophomore underclassmen get experience through research. And so for me, I did my undergraduate research through URSA. And it was a really interesting and cool experience. I would definitely recommend any freshman or sophomore incoming to definitely like check out URSA as it's a way to get paid for doing research that you might want to do. So for me specifically, the research that I got to do was I got to make a Python and SQL script to, I guess, classify like you're given a material and then we have a database of materials and processes and we match those together. And so when a user gives us a material, we're able to give back like, hey, this is a list of manufacturing processes that you can use with this material given the material shape, size, and like what the material, is. So it's been a pretty interesting experience. Through URSA, students are given two stipends of $500 each, spring term and winter term. And so it's a great way to get paid and get your foot in the door for resume purposes.
Awesome. Yeah. Um, Another thing that is obviously great for a resume is CAS. This summer you'll be working full time at CAS, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And what's that like? I know that the selection process was very, very competitive. Like almost 100 people applied, and then like only a couple got selected. And you were one of those people. So yeah, what was it like? Being
Yeah.
in CAS.
CAS stands for Center for Applied Systems and Software, and it's OSU's version of a student software development team managed by staff members from the university. So I think CAS is really fun. I just recently got onboarded about a month ago, and I've been going through the process and learning about, how does real world software work from like a software development team and company. And so the application process for CAS was really interesting. So you, of course, submit your resume. You also submit a cover letter stating like why do you want to work here at CAS. And so once you get past that, the interview process was pretty straightforward. They asked you a bunch of computer sciencey questions related to classes here at OSU. So I thought that was really fair. So for example, in CS 162, you'll learn about, object-oriented principles like what is abstraction, encapsulation, etc. And that was one of the interview questions I got asked. And I think that's a really good way of gauging like has this person been paying attention in their OSU classes. And then I was also asked a programming question from LeetCode, which is a popular programming interview question site. And so I would definitely recommend for people applying to CAS to brush up on LeetCode questions. And they also asked me a little bit about, databases and SQL, which was pretty good considering I actually did some SQL and Python training and knowledge through URSA, the undergraduate research here at OSU.
So what's the community of people like at CAS? I know a couple of our other officers that have recently been onboarded to our team actually work at CAS with you. What's the community of people like?
Yeah, CAS's community is really welcoming, and I was really, happy about that. You have like a desk you're assigned to. You get to sit next to other student developers who are going through similar classes and courses here at OSU, and you're able to really form a connection and bond with them because you have so many similar interests, such as working on software as a student software developer at CAS. I would say the work, even though I haven't gotten to the bulk of it yet, has been pretty interesting. They assign you to work on a project or two that they're working on. Right now, I'm working on a project called RxPMO, which is a manufacturing marketplace website where it's kind of like Amazon, where users are able to like say their product and then get a list of manufacturers that are able to make that product. And what was awesome was my URSA experience actually kind of tied into the RxPMO project. So I talked about like if a user gives us a material, we're able to give them a list of processes. And that actually played a part in the CAS project I'm working on right now, in between like the user giving the product information and then connecting that to like manufacturers. And so it was really a good experience transitioning actually from like whatever I worked on from URSA into CAS, as I was like already like within the team and like within the project sort of.
That's awesome. Yeah. Would you say CAS focuses mainly on like building you as a software developer and giving you these skills that will help you in the future?
Yes, as an aspiring software engineer in the future, I would definitely say CAS has been a great help and would highly recommend it to anyone who wants to be a software developer and is at OSU, as opportunities on campus that are related to computer science, like teaching assistant for Engineering 103 or undergraduate researcher. They are adjacent to being a software developer, but they aren't directly what you would be doing as a software developer on the job, programming with these frameworks, these languages, etc. And CAS is really good as they work with, I would say, modern technologies, modern programming languages, and really prepare you for what life and work as a software developer would look like as a future.
So are you guys working on stuff that's like outside the OSU framework? Or are you
Yeah, so I would say it definitely depends on the project. So CAS has a bunch of projects. The one I'm working on, RxPMO, is within OSU. It's within the College of Engineering, MIME, I believe, like mechanical, manufacturing, industrial engineering, and they're working on a marketing, manufacturing marketplace. And another project OSU is working on is a better course scheduling system. So right now we're using classes.oregonstate.edu. I believe there is another project at CAS working to make that experience better. And then OSU also works like outside OSU CAS. So one of the big ones is they're working with the Linux Foundation on a project. Uh, they also have a past project with the Oregon Department Transportation Department, where they developed like a mobile app alert kind of thing that would alert drivers like, hey, there's a hazard on the road, etc. And I believe CAS is still actively maintaining that project for the Oregon Department of Transportation.
sweet? Um, I guess I got one big question for you. It's our final question, which is